Oh shit. Welcome back, guys, to the Option Millionaire Show, where I attempt to take my portfolio to $1 million using options only. And this week was a minor setback because I lost around $10,000, but it could have been more if it weren't for these defensive tactics I'm about to show you guys. So please stay tuned to see what tactics and defensive option strategies I used to limit my losses and actually got some gains throughout the week. The first one up, the poor man's cover call is making a resurgence this week. I know a couple of weeks ago I said I'm never doing poor man's cover call again, and like was taking it out of my strategy. But I think this is a really good environment to be deploying this strategy, and it actually printed this week and netted me around 1.5 to around $2,000 if you want to capture this my rollover gains into it. Alright, so the poor man's cover call is basically me selling shorter dated options calls against my longer dated leaps, and whatever premiums I collected on the shorter dated calls, I take them as profit and I take it home. Okay, I lock in those profits and I take it home. I did roll some. I did do some rolls, so that might kind of screw up with the amount of profits that I took and all that stuff. So just by doing that, I saved myself from like a 12K loss, because that's like $2,000 in profit in that week. All right, my second loss mitigator, or whatever you want to call it, is I made roughly $3,000 off of like in 1 hour. So basically I had these OKLO puts that I opened like the previous day at around 3 o'clock, and I closed them out the next day at around 10 o'clock. We made like 1,300, 1,100, that's like $2,400, $3,000. If you want live real-time call outs on plays like the OKLO play that made me $3,000 within like an hour, please join the Discord. It is free for a limited time only. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's an amazing Discord. We're just teaching each other about stocks, and we're just recommending highly likely plays that work out. Not all of it's going to work out, but the ones that do work out pays very handsomely. So here's my Discord partner calling out OKLO the day before on 3:47 p.m. It's the last one standing out, and then he provides you with the evidence, and here I am talking with him. And then overall, it's just think of it as like a community of traders that are pooling our resources to beat the Wall Street guys. That's what we're doing here. At the same time, we have education, we have courses, we have like people teaching you and just bouncing ideas off of amazing community. Alright, so if you're in Discord, you also know about the new secret stock that I bought. It is KVUE. Here is the market analyst for KVUE, and as you can see right now the price is at like $16.50, I think, roughly around there, and the lowest range of the estimates is at $18, with the highest being at $27. Right now it's at $16. So even the most bearish of cases, you still have a $2 upside. So 2 divided by, what's the math here, like you still have 2 divided by 16. Even in the most bearish of cases, you still have 12% upside according to all these fancy Wall Street analysts. Right now is at 1642, so it is a no-brainer buy signal here. All right, so I want to take like the medium case, which is around, I want to say 22 after the Donald Trump attack. That's still like a, what is this, 22 minus 1650 divided by 1650. You still have a 33% upside. This is a heavy price and valuation of the company disjointment. They still have 5% dividend yields. I think I'm gonna dump more and more money into it. Currently I have roughly $7,000 in this position. Roughly, I want to say 6 to 7% of my entire portfolio in this. I'm looking to increase it to around 20%, so I'm looking to increase it to around $20,000. This is becoming one of my biggest positions, and I do heavily believe in it. Some other new positions that I opened was ELF, and I bought some of these too, the XXP and the QQQ on a dip. Added more to SoFi, added a little bit to JD, but my newest and most heavy position is KVUE Pharmaceuticals. I think, Tylenol does not cause autism, but even if it does, pregnant women and little kids, they're not really the main target consumer of KVUE or Tylenol, and Tylenol is just like a small segment of their business and profits. So it's just heavily discounted right now for what it is, and it's just a really good opportunity for a value play right here. All right, so looking forwards to next week, I think we might be expecting a little bit more volatility with the news that's coming up and all the Fed and job claims and all that stuff. I expect volatility to extend all the way out into like October, November. Maybe then the election cycle kind of breaks up that bearish mentality, and then we go back into rally mode from November to December. Maybe the SPY will close out at like 6,800 ish around there. Being hyper bullish right now, but I do expect another rate cut in the middle of October whenever Jay Powell does his little speech, and then maybe another rate cut in December. But yeah, overall, I think bullish sentiment is still going, and yeah, see you guys next time.